Armenia's silent struggle. The world chooses to look away. Every time we raise our voices for Armenia, we pay a price. In silence, in indifference, in the loss of attention from a world that has decided its suffering is not worth noticing. And yet, the Armenian people have carried wounds for more than a century. Wounds that the world refuses to heal because it is easier to ignore than to confront. Armenia is not just a name in history books tied to the genocide of 1915. It is a people still fighting for survival, still displaced, still erased, still surrounded by powers that want them gone. Nagorno-Karabakh, Artsakh, was not a battlefield of politics, but the home of Armenians who for generations lived on their ancestral land, until they were starved, blockaded, and driven out in front of a silent, indifferent world. When we raise our voice for Armenia, we are not raising it for governments. We are not raising it for religion. We are raising it for the people. For families forced to abandon their villages overnight, for children walking on roads of exile, for the elderly left behind to die in silence. We are raising our voice for a nation that has been told over and over again that its suffering is too inconvenient to acknowledge. And what does the world do? The world shrugs. Politicians issue statements of concern, while oil and gas contracts with Azerbaijan are signed behind closed doors. The world pretends neutrality while turning its back on a people who have lived through the first genocide of the 20th century and are now watching history repeat itself in slow motion. Armenia's struggle is not just about territory. It is about existence. About whether a small nation with an ancient history has the right to live, to remain on its land, to speak its language, to pass down its culture, or whether it will be suffocated and erased under the weight of global indifference. When we speak for Armenia, we are speaking for the mothers who carried their children through blockades, for the fathers who could not protect their families because the world closed its eyes, for every Armenian who knows too well what it means to be abandoned by the so-called defenders of human rights. And here is the truth. The world may be tired of hearing about Armenia, just as it is tired of Palestine, Congo, Sudan, and every nation that suffers without profit for the powerful. But history will remember this silence. It will remember that when Armenia cried out for help, the world looked away, again. Silence is complicity. And complicity kills. Freedom and justice for Armenia is not just an Armenian demand. It is a test of whether humanity still has a conscience.